Hey boy, how you doing? Good dog. Nah. Want a light?
I don't smoke. And even if I did, I certainly wouldn't employ such a garish lighter.
Edna,
What?
what's going on with you and Emmett? The last time I saw you, you seemed to be kinda interested in him.
That was before I belatedly realized that his agreement to host my Stay Sober Society was a clever ruse to ferry barrels of hooch to his so-called laboratory.
Sorry about that.
Now his very presence fills me with an irrepressible urge to pick at his philosophical and intellectual foundations with every tool in my vocabulary.
So you're not dating?
Dating? The mere thought of romantic involvement with that undisciplined techno-anarchist is preposterous.
Good. What was that song you were singing earlier?
Do you like it? I wrote it myself. It really gets the toes tapping at the Stay Sober Society meetings. Although I suppose that could be the Shakes. Would you like to hear it again?
Sure.
I knew if I waited long enough, somebody would request it. You say you've lost your self-respect, but you should care. It's not too late to redirect and start to care. Don't despise the good and pure. Time to rise up from the sewer. Wash off all that foul manure. Show the world you care. You should care. You should care. What people think of you. Of goals that you could name. Reclaiming your good name is what you ought to do. You should care. You should care. If your reputation is in disrepair, it's not going to hurt you to reclaim your virtue, for you should care.
Catchy.
You really think so?
Yeah, it's, got a good hook to it.
One needs a good hook if one is fishing for souls.
What have you got against dogs, anyway?
They're smelly, rude, completely unable to take care of themselves, and frankly, they're not very bright. If I had my druthers, dogs would be banned from public places.
Harsh.
It's a harsh world, Mr. Crockett.
What's Kid Tannen been up to for the last 2 months?
Didn't you hear? It was in all the papers.
I've been, traveling.
Well, the feds were all set to arrest Tannen on tax evasion charges. Seems they'd gotten Tannen's books from his accountant.
I heard something about that, yeah.
Well, the accountant disappeared, unsurprisingly. But the feds still thought they had a case. After all, they still had the books, right?
Right.
Wrong. The day before the trial, the books up and vanished right out of the court's evidence locker.
No.
Lots of fingers were pointed, but honestly, the whole town's so corrupt that it could have been anyone. Court clerks, cops, janitors.
So Kid's walking around free?
Free, clear, and laughing it up in his new speakeasy. The feds want to bring a case up against him, but without those books, they've got nothing.
Couldn't Kid be brought up on other charges like, say, running a speakeasy?
In a perfect world, yes. But no one in town seems to care about prohibition anymore. The feds are only interested because of the lost tax revenue.
Do you know anything about Officer Danny Parker?
Parker? Just another soul lost to the twin vices of booze and despair. I've asked him to tell me his story for my column. Sort of a cautionary tale, but he's never in the mood to talk to me.
You wouldn't happen to know anything about Trixie Trotter, would you?
Kid Tannen's latest conquest? Well, she claims to be a lounge singer from Seattle, but my sources in Washington have never heard of her. I mean, honestly, Trixie Trotter, what kind of name is that?
See ya.
Keep fighting the good fight.
What's all this?
These are my pamphlets, laying out in scientific detail the horrors visited upon those who succumb to the temptations of alcohol.
Lost Fortnight.
I am particularly fond of that one. It tells the true-life tale of Johnny, who woke up in a pile of his own sick, completely unable to remember the previous 2 weeks of his life.
Heavy.
Actually, the pamphlets are quite light, see?
Donate to the Clock Tower Fund. What's wrong with the clock tower? It's not broken, is it?
Not in the slightest.
Whew.
It's just painfully drab. I'm raising funds to commission a sculptor to place a couple of handsome ornamental statues on either side of the clock face. Something to inspire the citizens to do their civic duty.
Something like lions?
Or gargoyles. You can't beat a good gargoyle.
Who sent you?
Ulysses S. Grant.
What did you bring me?
Meat and potatoes.
What's the word?
Words are for wimps.
Ew. Cabbage crates. Must be for the soup. Hoover 28. A chicken in every pot. How's that working out, Herbie?
Who gave you the right to knock on my door?
Doris Day?
What will you do if I break your leg?
Lego your ego?
Where are you going?
Could you repeat that?
Where are you going?
Hattiesburg.
Take a hike, Squirt. Who told you about this place?
Place to call to my travel agent.
What's the big idea?
Stitch in time saves 9.
Settle down, mister. Why don't you wait outside and take a nap?
Napkin, please. I've made a mess.
Who told you to come here?
Hieronymus Bosch?
What will you do if I let you inside?
Row my boat?